Welcome to the Good Effin podcast, where we talk about Big Brother Canada 3. I'm Hera, and I'm joined by
Drew,
Heather,
and Adam.
Today we're going to discuss the past week, everything that happened on the episodes and the feeds. So, in the last episode, Cindy was unanimously evicted from the Big Brother house. And they played a knockout competition where Kevin accidentally became HOH. And then Arissa announced that it would be an instant eviction and that the feeds would be off all weekend. So, what else happened?
I mean, that was about it. I don't think we were able to cover the beginning of the week, which was Kevin getting nominated with Brittnee, and then Cindy being put up as the replacement nominee.
Yes. Bobby, freaking Bobby, ruining my life.
His HOH was the worst.
Didn't want any blood on his hands.
Can he say that one more time? Like, oh my god.
So, first he nominated Kevin and Brittnee, because they were the first two to fall from the HOH competition. And Kevin was the target. But then, after Bobby made his nominations, the girls were in the HOH room talking about how the girls needed to stick together. Cindy and Neha and Sarah were in the room. I think Willow was there too. And Kevin was in the bathroom and he overheard everything. So, at that moment, the girls were just basically screwed. Cindy especially was screwed. So, when they played the POV competition, Kevin won, took himself off, and I think originally they were going to put up Johnny, but then when Cindy made those comments, she ended up going up on the block and she was the target. So, what do you guys think about, I guess, Cindy being the target? Like, how do you feel about her going home?
I think we lost a really entertaining character, but at the same time, it was kind of her own fault for getting evicted. But that doesn't make it any less sad.
Let's be real here. Even if Kevin wasn't in the bathroom, they would have found out anyway. Because
Probably.
they were talking with Willow.
With Willow, yeah.
True.
I'm distraught.
Yeah.
Everybody says she got a really bad edit, but is it just me, or do I not really see her being that terrible? I feel like there's 10 more people in the house that are 10 times worse than she is.
Who's at it? Cindy's?
Yeah, everybody's like, she got a really bad edit. I can see why people don't like her, but I just...
What?
She was funny.
She was hilarious the entire time. They showed her bending over and showing off her ass in the HOH competition. And if that's seen as a bad edit, then people are just prudes.
I think that's...
Yeah, that's why it's a bad edit.
That's why people don't like her.
Yeah.
It's just in our culture to shame people who are, or girls who are overtly sexual, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of slut-shaming comments that I've read online and from past Big Brother alumni, so it's unfortunate.
Friggin' Allison with her hashtag.
Alice, oh my god.
Yeah, Allison and Arlie started a hashtag campaign. I think Arlie was hashtag Cindy with a C.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Allison's was Cia Cindy, and it was spelled CYACINDY. So I think Cindy came across badly in the first episode when she came in the house and she was introducing herself as Cindy with an S, Cindy with an S. Just because it was too much. But then I think as in the subsequent episodes, I think she came across a lot better, even though she wasn't the best gamer, obviously, if she didn't check the HOH bathroom before she started talking about how the girls needed to stick together and take Brittnee off the block. But I thought she had personality. And what did you guys think about the way she campaigned to save herself? Is there anything she could have done to save herself besides what was shown?
No.
There was no saving herself.
She was screwed because the two main people against her at that point were Greg and Godfrey. And even though they're not the most influential, they're the loudest, and no one wants to really piss them off because they know what it means if you get on their bad side, and they'll just get, like, yelled at and be obnoxious, and this early in the game, you're not going to put your entire game on the line to save someone. If it means that you're going to get attacked socially.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Brittnee, who was also on the block? And I guess...
Oh, she was?
They showed a little bit in the episode of her cozying up to Zach and just
She was cozying up a lot to the last week.
Yeah, and...
Kinda lying on the couch.
Yeah, so what do you guys think of her? What do you think of her, Drew?
I'm like really conflicted about her because I feel like when it comes to the alliances I like and the players I like, Brittany's like probably towards the bottom of my list just because I don't care about her, but she's a number for the people I do like. But at the same time, like I almost think Cindy could have done the same thing, and she actually like tried campaigning, and she's actually entertaining. So I don't know. Brittany's okay, but I just wish she would do more.
Yeah.
What do you think about Brittnee, Heather?
I mean...
Anything to add?
She's alright. She hasn't really done anything negative, I guess, but that's also because she hasn't really done anything, period. However, at the same point, she really, really tries in, like, every single competition. So, I don't know. She's just kind of there, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, on the feeds, she's mostly just laying on the couch, not doing much, not really participating, I don't think.
Exactly. It's like the most entertaining thing she's done on the feeds was shutting down the entire conversation that Godfrey and Greg were having about how to pick up women, where she was just like, oh my god, no, 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 no.
I mean... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
I was just gonna ask, do you think that this is just her... I mean, this is like a result of her being on slop, or do you think she's gonna be like this for the rest of the season?
I think it was just this week.
Because,
honestly, this early in the game, yes, Cindy fought for herself to stay, but when you're on the block, you just kind of want to sit back and let the other people's game screw up by themselves.
Yeah.
It was boring and she didn't do anything, but it was the smartest move for her to do this week.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, wasn't she sick last week too? And then she went from being sick and then to on slop, so I can't really blame her for being lethargic. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
She's good in the DR.
No.
I think she's the most natural.
Yeah.
And
nothing she says seems scripted. Sorry for...
Oh no, I was gonna say she seems like the most comfortable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just move on from Brittnee, and something else that happened in the episode was the two geniuses, Greg and Bruno, came up with this idea to frame Neha by telling Brittnee that Neha was campaigning against her. And Brittnee seemed to believe it, but I think eventually it came back to Neha, and she was very gung-ho about wanting to get them out because they were spreading false information about her. So, and on the feeds we see a lot of people talking about Neha as this huge target. So, what do you guys make of that?
Of Neha being the target?
Yeah. Why is she such a huge target, basically?
Because she's a woman and she's not afraid to plan. And that goes against everything that the Chop Shop wants.
I also think that they don't like that she's not loud and obnoxious. Like, she's very chill. I mean, no, like, how do I explain it?
Intense?
She can get intense, but, like, when it comes to just, like, relaxing around the house, she's
calm.
Calm, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think everybody just thinks she's scheming when she's probably just sitting there.
Yeah.
Greg has compared her to Netta a lot. He keeps saying that she's the new Netta.
It's just because their names sound the
same. Exactly, Adam. That's what I was going to say too. It's because he is Greg, and he's automatically like, well, there always has to be a Netta.
Yeah.
Because there's been a Netta every single season in Big Brother ever.
Exactly.
Well, Greg isn't a
What do you
super fan, so...
Exactly.
I can't believe he was 2 years in a row. He was supposed to be last year. Got on this year. How? Why? What do they see in this guy?
It's because he's stupid. They need someone stupid.
I don't know why he was... Yeah, I don't get it either.
Do you think they were, expecting him to be the villain? Because I don't know of many people that actually like him.
I don't think anyone actually does. Just from, looking around the Tumblr tag and everything else, I'm just everyone, asterisks out, letters in his name, and I don't think anyone actually does like him.
Yeah, I think he's last on the Joker's rankings, too. Dead last.
We should get casting on and ask her why she cast him.
She gets very defensive about that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Based on our Twitter. Do you guys think Greg is entertaining in an ironic way? Or
No.
No.
I mean, I get a thrill out of hating him, but that's about it.
It'll be entertaining when he falls from grace. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know.
But not even a Sabrina way.
No, it'll just
Sabrina
be hilarious.
never really fell.
No, she just stayed.
That's true.
Oh, imagine Sabrina's eviction week.
if Greg
All stars.
if Greg did leave, who do you think would be the next in line to take up that role of being the person that everyone was rooting against?
Godfrey.
Bruno. Or Godfrey.
Godfrey. Because Bruno doesn't really do anything. He's just kind of there, and I feel like I would not like him, but I wouldn't mind his presence so much had he chosen to align with anyone but Greg.
Maybe.
Bruno is actually liked in the house compared to Greg and Godfrey. Nobody really has anything bad to say about Bruno, and he was actually nice to Cindy from what I saw.
Yeah, he's very passive aggressive, just talk crap about him behind their backs.
It looked very synthetic. His comforting of Cindy was incredibly synthetic. I was cringing watching it. 'Cause I'm just you're gonna go right outside and then be like, no, she was crying.
June from BB4 retweet, she commented on somebody's tweet yesterday comparing them to Robert, Justin, and G from her season, and said they were the Three Stooges Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Except they're old. Well, except Godfrey. But...
Godfrey looks old. Yeah, so Cindy left, and they played in a knockout competition where Neha and Godfrey kept going back and forth. I think Godfrey and Peely were the first people who were up there. I think they randomly chose them. And then Godfrey chose Neha and Sarah, and then and Neha was very intense. She got a bunch of questions right, but ultimately she lost to Ashley of all people. And it came down to Ashley and Kevin, and I think Ashley answered incorrectly, so Kevin became the HOH by default.
Yeah.
Which I don't think was in his master game plan at all. So, I mean, who did you want to be HOH, and what was your reaction when Kevin won?
Well, I wasn't happy that Kevin won, but I'm also not sure if I wanted... I don't know if I would have wanted the Neha HOH yet, because I feel like the conversations that happened afterwards on the feeds for a little bit, really solidified who she's going after right now. But before that, she was making, really questionable decisions, as in, targeting Peely for no reason. And then, I don't know, I feel like it could have easily gone wrong. But at the same time, it could have gone 10 times worse with Kevin as the HOH. And we don't know yet, so...
If she did go after Peely with her HOH, the Ica comparisons would have continued, so...
Yeah.
I don't think she would have gone after Peely right now. I think she's talked a lot about going after Peely, but I don't think she would go after her just yet.
I don't
Maybe
think she would
wait
have.
a bit.
I don't think she would have either, because of after the whole thing with Cindy and the HOH where Godfrey freaked out, Like, Neha was pissed and went to Zach and said, no, next time, no matter who's HOH, it has to be Greg and Godfrey.
Yeah.
So I think that her need to, like, do right by her own morals would have surpassed her need to put up Peely for no reason.
Yeah.
And that would have been great, but at the same point, you never know.
I mean, I think she's gonna go after Peely eventually, just because I think she is very frustrated by Peely and players like Peely, but I think she is smart enough to go after the right people.
Also in that HOH, afterwards, Greg, I think it was like, oh, so you know Ashley, she nominated 2 guys once. She's totally against us, bro. And I think that says, like, a whole lot about that mentality of the trio. And that's all I have to say about that.
What do you guys think about... I mean, is there anything to say about Ashley?
No.
Not really. I feel bad about her situation with Bobby, but as far as her personality, she's kind of bland.
Let's talk about that.
Oh, God.
It's basically Caleb and Amber 2.0, except Bobby isn't as crazy as Caleb.
Not yet.
Not yet. But he...
Hopefully we'll never see him be as crazy.
And what do you guys think of the show pushing this whole Zach and Ashley showmance? Is that something that's actually going to happen in the house? Or is it just a DR romance?
It's probably going to happen.
You think so?
If it doesn't happen, it'll happen for like 2 seconds postseason.
Yeah. It seems a lot like the Nicole Hayden deal, where they're trying really, really, really hard to sell it, and then the actual amount of time that they spend together is kind of minimalized.
I mean, aren't Jordan and Zach planning on working with Ashley?
They want to. And Willow.
I think from what I saw in the feeds, the plan is for Jordan, Zach, Kevin to team up as like a trio, and then each of them have like their own little like satellite person, where Zach has Ashley, Kevin has Peely, and Jordan has Willow, which that pairing doesn't really make sense to me.
You'd think Zach would have Willow.
Zach has everyone. And Jordan... I don't know if Jordan has anybody. I don't really know what Jordan is contributing to their alliance. But...
he just likes to pretend that he's the brains of it all.
Yeah, and then there's also the Kevin and Peely showmance. What are we calling that? Kevlar? Keely or Kevlar?
They're calling it Kevlar.
Keely sounds cuter.
It does.
Like, Keely sounds adorable, and then Kevlar sounds like something that you put on cookware.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about them together?
Is it really a showmance if they just, like, don't talk? Like, I don't think I've ever seen, like, a conversation between them.
They have
except
lunch
on the very
dates.
first night.
I think it counts. Because, I mean...
they just kind of awkwardly make out.
Yeah, but I think that eventually it is going to develop into something. Because I don't think you can make out with someone every night and not... like, your hormones are eventually going to trick your brain into thinking that you have feelings for this person, even if you actually wouldn't in real life. But if you're stuck in the same house as someone for 24 hours a day, I mean, eventually something is going to happen that goes beyond... I mean, there's going to be feelings. So I think it's inevitable. Unless one of them gets voted out very, very soon.
I'm still kind of iffy about it because of the whole possibly him having a girlfriend on the outside thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure the whole story has really come out, but...
he doesn't give the vibes that he has maybe he's like a really good actor, but...
the way he talks about it in the house, like, they were talking... him, Ashley, and Peely were talking this week, and he was like, I could never cheat on anybody, I'm too loyal a person, and I'm like...
ooh.
I don't know.
I think that he sees her as like a point of comfort, if that makes sense, because when Cindy was evicted, he like sat on the couch forever saying, I shouldn't have said this about her, I shouldn't have said this about her. And all he'd really said was that Cindy was a loudmouth, and Peely was sitting there trying to talk him down from it. So I almost think that he relies on her as a grounding presence more than anything, and then they just make out.
Yeah. But
like,
I guess
it's
that's a
weird.
pretty solid relation to have.
Yeah.
do you see him ever voting her out? Or the other way around? Like, would they ever vote each other out, do you think?
I don't think Peely would. Depending on where this goes, I don't think Peely would. And I think Kevin is the type that would make it seem like he would, but he probably wouldn't. I think it would just depend on how like far the relationship goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Kevin would either.
Well, she's Kevin's goat, so probably not.
Not just for personal reasons, but also for game reasons. I think it's a really smart idea to keep her around. And, they're creating a target on their back, so is it smart for them to be doing this? Or does anyone really care?
Nobody really cares.
I don't think anyone cares. They're also obsessed with the Ashley and Zach thing in the house. It seems like Willow is. Because Willow, anytime Ashley is there, she's like, well, Zach, I can never talk to you without Ashley being there. And then Bobby...
I feel like that's the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody probably feels like that about Willow.
Yep.
Should they be worried about any of the showmances in the house? I mean, should they be targeting them? Like, is this going to... because we've seen in past Big Brother seasons, showmances have gotten very far. Like, Jillian and Emmett, obviously. And even though John and Netta weren't officially a showmance, they were a very strong duo. So...
But at the same time, there's also Tom and Liza and Andrew and Allison. So.
True. But I think the difference is that Kevin and Peely are actually liked in the house by most people.
Yeah.
They're very likable people. Whereas Tom and Andrew they were hotheads and they got on a lot of people's nerves. Whereas, like, everyone seems to love Kevin. That's why I think that they fall in the more, like, the Jillian and Emmett category, especially if they can win comps.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they could be dangerous.
People like Peely, too. Like, when Bobby was talking about noms in the entire room, everyone said, oh my god, I love Peely, she's so cute. I don't want her to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not playing a very good game, but her social game is, like, probably by accident, but it's really good.
And her position in the game, even though she doesn't have any alliances, she's in a very good spot.
Mm-hmm. Neha's, like, the only one targeting her, and it's for, like, silly reasons. So.
And I think that if Peely were going to go up on the block, nobody would actually vote her out, even if she was the HOH's target.
Yeah.
So I think they could be a very underestimated duo. But that's just my crazy theories, I guess. What else do you guys want to talk about that happened in the episode or on the feeds?
Feed-wise, I feel like a lot happened in the past week or so.
Yeah.
What happened in the past few days?
Well,
yeah.
So after Kevin won HOH, apparently he had to make his nominations right away. From what from what people have been saying who went to the live show, he had to lock in his nominations right away. And what the audience heard was Neha, definitely. And the second person was Bobby. Might have been Bobby. He was throwing Bobby's name around, but that's more iffy. And we're not sure if this was a short list or like his official nominations. But then after he made whatever that list is, he came back into the house and had to pretend like he didn't know that there was going to be an instant. And Neha immediately went into campaign mode, and she did a really good job because she managed... Because Jordan and Zach were on board to get rid of Neha at first. But then she got them to change their mind, and Jordan was all on board to go for Greg and Bobby, but with Bobby as the target.
I just feel like I'm really buying into the shortlist theory just because it would be weird to me for Kevin to basically screw over his game by, like, even humoring the whole working with Neha and like putting up Bobby and someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see that working out for him, and if he had already done his nominations, I think he would have shut all of that down a lot quicker.
Yeah.
If he did
So
all
I'm
it,
hoping...
if he did his
What was-
nominations and he nominated Neha and Bobby, that would totally screw himself over too, because
Yeah.
then he'd have both sides coming at him, and he'd be number one target, pretty much. Because you don't put up Bobby as a pawn.
No, but he has a reason. I mean, he can just say that, well, I didn't want to get blood on my hands, and you put me up, so I put you up, and now we're even. I mean, there's
he
ways
has a
for him
reason.
to get out of it.
Well, there would be ways for him to get out of it if he hadn't gone around and like talked game with everybody the way he did after he won HOH.
I mean, is he going to be allowed to tell people that he had to make his nominations right away? Because I think
don't
then
think
people would be
so.
a little more understanding.
Well, the thing is, like, Bobby knows that there is a shortlist option because in episode 3, they did a close-up of the screen, and there's a thing that fully says shortlist, and then 4 players go there. And then you have to pick from those 2. So he might understand from that point of view, I guess, but I don't know.
I think he won't understand just because, like, even though he'll probably... Like I said, if Kevin hadn't talked game with everybody and, like, really, like, strategized with everyone that night that he won HOH, they probably would have understood a bit better if he had to make, like, a last-minute decision. But the fact that he knew and lied to people would probably rub
Sure.
people the wrong way.
True. I think even if he says, well, production told me to do this, I think people will be freaked out because he was such a good liar.
Yeah, he didn't have to lie. He could have just, like,
Went to
shut any idea
bed.
down.
He could have went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is a very... I mean, it could... who knows what will happen. But I also think that Jordan and Zach are in a very tricky situation. I think they think that they're in a very good spot, but if Neha and Bobby are the nominees, they're going to have to pick a side, because I think right now their game is to play both sides and fly under the radar. But if Zach votes Bobby out, then he's officially against the Chop Shop. And they're gonna know that.
I think if Neha stays, she's still the number one target.
Yeah.
So
probably.
they'll still be good for at least another week, and then Zach can start winning competitions, so... They'll be fine, unfortunately.
I don't know. I want their games to blow up just because they're so cocky right now. So I
Yeah.
hope that the Chop Shop gets mad at Zach. But I mean, the girls probably won't be like Ashley and Willow because they both have a crush on Zach. Greg will probably be too preoccupied with Neha, and Godfrey and
Zach
Bruno are
did tell
irrelevant.
Ashley. Zach told Ashley that they were targeting the Chop Shop this week.
He told her that?
So she might... Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He was like, oh, shit's gonna blow up this week.
You know, I actually don't think that... No, I think Adam makes a good point. I don't know if Zach and Jordan would really be in trouble if they had to pick
Yeah.
a side.
Mhm.
Because Ashley's with them, basically. So that's
So
3
Willow.
people right there. And then if they pick the side and Neha's on that side, they would have Neha. They'd probably have Sarah and Brittnee. So it'd probably be the whole house against whatever remains of the Chop Shop. Plus Godfrey.
True.
And if the Chop Shop wins HOH, they're gonna go after the girls because they're
Yeah.
the Chop Shop.
Yeah.
You're gonna get chopped. No, we're gonna chop everyone down. Final 6.
Chop Shop's open for business! Oh my god. I wanted to throw up.
What did you guys think of when everyone was going in the diary room to vote? Everyone had almost everyone had like a signal, like a weird gang sign, like whether it was the Chop Shop or Newport, or it was the Fortress thing that
was
Kevin
funny.
does, and Kevin was the only one. It was so funny because I think Kevin was first and he did the Fortress sign, and then right
Yeah.
after that it was Jordan, and he was like Newport. So
They definitely listed them so that they went in that order. Because I'm pretty sure Peely was with Kevin, or Peely was with, Kevin, right? That's his name. And Ashley was with Zach, and everything was set up pretty much for that to happen.
So, like, who is everyone rooting for right now? Like, who are you guys rooting for the most? Who are your, like, top 2 players? Top 2 or top 3?
Not the Chop Shop.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
I'm hoping Neha can survive for a few weeks because I see potential there, but
I feel like
that
they didn't really cast any real winners this season somehow.
yeah, I
Like,
can't really
nobody-
imagine who's gonna win.
Yeah.
If you
Everyone's
had
kinda
if you
lame.
had to pick someone right now, who would you pick?
I have no idea.
Neha.
Neha.
Okay. Non-personal opinion, who would you pick?
I would pick
Neha.
What?
Sarah. I think Sarah, well, could go the distance. What do you guys
I think Sarah would probably make it close to the end and then get cut off by somebody.
That's what I think too.
You think so?
Um,
I mean, right now, I think Sarah, even if she loses Neha, she has. I think she can still go under the radar. Everyone likes her, and
Oh, yeah.
nobody really sees her as a threat. I think they do just think of her as the stoner.
I think
Sarah's
Neha needs
position
Sarah,
is
but Sarah
so
doesn't need
weird.
Neha.
Yeah.
If Sarah goes in and she'll talk game with everyone, she'll talk straight to the person and be like, yeah, I want you out, and they won't even care. I don't understand it. Like, they don't care.
I think Sarah's very savvy, though. I think even if the worst case scenario happened and Neha went this week, I think she could I don't know, like be a warrior
Sure.
and just
Yeah, she would probably
survive
recover.
until at
Yeah.
least final
If
5.
Neha does go, do you think the plan to go after the Chop Shop will still be in effect?
It depends who wins the next HOH.
Because, like, they can still bring in Ashley and Willow and have the numbers to take them out.
I mean, it depends. It just depends if who the HOH is.
I think Sarah might have to be a little concerned just because they were throwing her name around as like a pawn before everything happened. So she's not completely safe right now.
No, but
But I don't think like her fate would be sealed if Neha
I
went
think
home.
once Neha went, Sarah's gonna be pretty much fine until, like, final 6.
well, what do you guys expect to find after they bring the feeds back on Sunday? Like, what do you think? Like, what are you expecting will happen?
I have no idea.
Well, we know who's nominated then. Like for next week, I guess.
I mean, if the
We
nominees
should.
are Neha and Bobby, like, what do you think will happen?
This
It's
is the
hard to
first
say.
time. This is the first time in like 2 years that I have no idea what would happen.
I know.
it depends. It just depends on like if Zach and Jordan are really on board with this plan, and I don't see why they wouldn't be. Just because like we literally saw them last minute up until the instant eviction was about to happen, and I don't know how they would just change their minds and be able to like do it together
Yeah.
on the spot. But
Yeah. Jordan was very happy to take credit for this plan, so
yeah,
Of course he was.
it would kind of suck if they were on board with it and went through with it and voted out Bobby, and then someone like Peely like messed it all up and Neha went home anyway.
I think if Kevin makes his nom speech clear enough, Peely will vote how she wants him to vote.
Uh-huh. What do you guys think of them doing this twist so early? The instant eviction has never happened this early in the game before.
It's because the game started later this year.
Yeah, and it's Easter weekend.
Originally, I thought it was kind of like annoying, but it's kind of suspenseful, so I think it'll make good TV.
Yeah. So and then we have another twist coming up with the first 5 people competing to get back in the house.
I'm nervous for that.
I think
Me
if
too.
yeah, that it all depends on who comes back. I think if Neha goes this week, then she might be the person who ends up coming back.
Yeah.
Or if Bobby goes home this week, I could also see him coming back. But I would hope, I'm rooting for Cindy.
Me too.
I think if Bobby does come back, he's just going right back out the door anyway, so there's really no point in him coming
Yeah.
back.
I mean, the same could be said for Neha, almost.
Maybe.
Usually
I feel like
the person
would...
who comes back, like, goes home right away. Like, Nicole...
Except in Big Brother Canada.
Well, I mean, Gary was brought back final 4. Right?
Yep,
That was
and
kinda
he should have
weird.
gone right back out.
Yeah.
They should have... Why didn't they keep Tala? That's the stupidest thing they could do.
I mean,
Why are you evicting Tala?
there's also, I think, Nicole, BB... Oh, actually, Judd came
Judd.
back, I think, final 6, final 5. And he made it all the way to final... I don't know.
Was it
I think
final
it was-
I
three?
feel like he went far, but I can't remember.
That was only because
Final
of
four.
Alyssa. Because Alyssa didn't hate him, and she hated most of the other people more than she hated Judd.
Yeah. And then Nicole, like, I think she had 1 week where Donnie went home, and then she went home right after that.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember BB16 correctly. I've tried to wipe it from my memory. Anything else from the episodes or the live show or the live feeds?
Not really.
No.
Okay,
I think we covered pretty much all of that.
yeah. So, did you guys watch the sideshow with Peter
I
and
did.
Gary?
I can't get on board with the sideshow as long as Peter's on it.
So, you
He
didn't
was
watch it?
stupid.
No. What happened?
I watched it, and he basically said that, well, you know, Cindy, you're not success with an S because you didn't throw the first veto competition. And it's like, dude, she was on the freaking block. What the hell do you want her to do?
I don't
That's
know
basically his entire
why
thing.
Peter is on the panel for that, because I can't see anyone taking his advice or his opinion seriously.
He's supposed to be the bad cop.
But he's so stupid at it. Like, he's horrible.
Throwing
Not
the
even good at
veto
being
competition?
antagonistic.
I mean,
Who says
In
that?
hindsight, I don't know why he even said that, because it was Canada voting, and Canada was going to vote Cindy out anyway.
yeah. I don't think that was her mistake. I think her mistake was talking out loud and not checking who was in the HOH bathroom.
Yep.
That was her mistake, not winning the veto competition. And then I think I saw the sideshow with John and Netta, and they had like this segment where John and Netta went in the house. I think this was last week.
Oh, I watched that one, because they shit on Peter the whole time.
I think, yeah, I think John was like, winning's great, right, Peter? And how's that showmance with Liza going?
They showed Peter's predictions from last year. When he picked Rochelle to win and said John would never win this game.
Yeah. Basically proving that Peter doesn't know what he's talking about. And the interview with Risha was really awkward. I couldn't watch all of it. And I felt so bad for her, because I think she got a really raw deal.
She did.
And how did Cindy take it? Like, how was Cindy on the sideshow? Was she really sad or upbeat or what?
No, she seemed just kind of like, anything Peter said to her, she just kind of nodded, like, I don't really care what you think, Peter Brown. So I think she's fine. Like, I think Peter thought that he was being more offensive or controversial than he actually was. Meanwhile, Cindy was just sitting there like, ha ha ha, who are you?
And Arlie was on the sideshow too, right?
Yeah, he was... Oh, he and Peter, of course, dismissed the idea of a female alliance, and Arissa was like, no, but this one time on Survivor, I have hope it'll happen, and Gary was all supporting it.
Aw.
Arissa always brings up Micronesia when Girls' Alliances come out.
Arissa's great. I don't know
Arissa's
how she got
flawless.
stuck with Peter.
I don't know how Peter is on the sideshow. Like what did...
Because he's popular.
But why?
Unfortunately, but he's popular.
How is he popular? I've never seen anyone actually
don't-
like him.
Among, like, more casual fans, he's very
I feel like he's
popular.
more divisive than anything else.
I'm fine with there being like a bad cop like criticizing the game, but I feel like when you're Peter, you just can't do that because like what right do you have to be the one criticizing people?
Exactly.
Okay, but who else are they gonna get?
Netta?
Netta wouldn't be the bad cop, though.
Yeah, but she would at least provide the, like, sound strategic advice and, you know?
That's not... He's not there to give sound strategic advice. He's there
But he thinks he is.
Try and tear them up.
But he sucks at doing that. He's so bad at it.
Are they going to get Arlie instead? Because he's really the only other option at this point.
No, please no Arlie either.
Oh, God.
I mean, maybe there's just like no point in there being a bad cop when nobody really takes him seriously, because it's really easy to dismiss him. Like, Ika was just like, whatever, shut up, Peter. And that was just it. Like, nobody really cares what he's saying.
They should just get Ika to do it.
Yes, exactly. Get her.
Especially when it would be Gary, Ika, and Arissa the whole time. That would be a lot better to watch.
Yeah. But then you have people like Jordan who's like so impressed with Peter's sick burns. Like, when Peter was voting out Tom.
I don't want to listen to this. He said it so many times. I don't want to hear it again.
I'll keep Liza warm for you. Jesus.
Jordan named his alliance because of Peter, the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, how do you think Zach feels about that?
I don't think he cares. I don't think he's thinking about Peter at all.
I know.
Didn't Peter compliment his game on the sideshow?
He had to. It was hilarious. Yes. They basically forced him to compliment Zach for bring the Bermuda Triangle, like, as a thing. And Peter had to, like, say he liked it or some shit like that, and it was hilarious.
Has he talked about that tweet on the sideshow?
Nope.
I think Derek brought it up on their Shield show. And Alec was like, Peter's not going to talk about this.
Who's the guest next week on the sideshow? Do we know?
No.
No idea.
Is there always a guest?
I mean, they have to fill time. It's like an hour long, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is now.
I bet they'll invite Derek.
Maybe.
I mean, they invite US people all the time, like Rachel Riley last season.
Yep.
Sabrina was so excited to see her. I remember that.
How's Brandon? I was there for that. That was good.
And I read somewhere that Arlie gained a few pounds. People were...
Him and John have been drinking a lot, so...
They have been. They both have the beer bloat.
Yikes. Okay, so... The next thing I wrote in my outline is just Arissa being lovely.
I mean, we could talk about that for hours.
I know, right?
I think Arissa's really improved. And a lot of people criticize her because... I don't know, she's too...
I've never understood the criticisms.
I think the thing is...
She's not robotic.
She's not like Julie. She's not like Julie where she's super professional. She's a host.
Yeah.
She's a fan. Like, she's more of a casual host than she is a professional host.
But didn't people criticize Julie for that? Like, didn't people think Julie was robotic for, like, ever?
People like that
now.
They
still do. That's why they call her Chenbot.
Because people take Big Brother really seriously, and Julie kind of gives off that vibe, you know, where everything's so serious. But, I mean, in BB16, Julie was getting really chummy with Frankie Grande, so... I don't know.
I just think Arissa's fun. I've never had a problem with her. I mean, there's sometimes where she, like, stumbles,
She's a little,
but I thought
for that. In the first season she was a little awkward.
Yeah, the beginning of the first season she was not very good. But season 2, she got way better.
She's getting the hang of it. And I really love her this season.
A lot of the stuff about, like, against her seems to be about what she says, and she doesn't write the dialogue. She's reading it off of screens.
I think Arissa's great.
So
she sings during the live shows.
Yep.
Aw.
I can't tell you how many times I had to hear her sing Let It Go last year.
I just think the thing with Arissa is that she always looks like she's having fun.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And like she's friends with the house guests too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can tell who she likes and who she doesn't.
Yeah. But she's not obnoxious about it either.
Exactly. I think she's fabulous, so
Cox
anyone
the
who hates
fox.
her, just like, yes!
Okay, so next thing is do you guys want to talk about this? The Big Brother alumni and what they're doing on social media?
Sure. What happened with Zach?
Okay, so
Oh,
Zach
God.
Rance from BB16. I haven't really been keeping up with what he's been doing, but recently there's been all this controversy over. He said that I haven't seen his videos, but he said the N-word in one of his videos, and he was very like defensive about it.
Didn't somebody call him out on it? And he's like, "I'll say whatever I want to say."
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, let me
Incredible. This
And
is
then
like
he,
the least surprising thing ever.
He was hitting on underage girls and threatening them if they told anyone too.
That's even
see. Yeah,
less
he's
surprising.
been
to me.
DMing
Yep.
his fans, and a lot of his fans are high school aged or just teenagers.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then apparently, I mean, there's been so much. He's been getting exposed, and there's been
Did this
so
like all
much.
happen this week?
Yeah.
I think so.
Ever since he said the N-word, I think people have just been all over him and like releasing all the DMs he sent to people, and apparently someone called him out for being homophobic, and he's like, I don't give a shit. So,
Yep. He said that. He's like, someone told him that he was offending his LGBTQ fans. He's like, well, I don't really care about your opinion, so I'm just gonna do my thing. He's like, okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Once BB16 ended, I was done with pretty
So
much
was
all of
I.
them.
There's some Twitter that's dedicated to it.
yeah. Besides Donnie, he was like the most popular house guest.
He was only popular among high school kids.
I think Donnie's been pretty good.
Donnie hasn't done anything. He just like randomly tweets like what you would expect from Donnie every like a
Yeah.
few weeks.
I'm watching television.
He wrote a tweet
Yeah.
saying a balanced diet is a cookie in each hand. I liked that tweet. He's so cute. He's like the only one I like from BB16 still.
Me too.
Everybody else is pretty boring. I remember following Amber on Twitter and like being excited about it just because I liked her, even though she was an awful Big Brother player. And this is a boring Twitter.
She's very embarrassing on Twitter from what I've seen.
Yeah.
She subtweets a lot. A lot of it's about her love life. I don't know. Someone needs to get her off social media.
I want to know how she has all these connections to random people, like Trey Songz.
She's a model.
Oh, yeah, she was in the Leah Michelle video.
And Caleb and Derek are in a feud because Caleb is friends with Derek's dad.
What?
That is the most. I was not expecting that to be the big the big scandal from BB16, but
BBCAN3 remains better.
Yep.
BBCAN2's drama is better. BBCAN2's show is better.
mm-hmm.
BBUS should just give up. Just
Big
throw in the
Brother Canada's
towel.
drama is fun because it's so vague and you just get to speculate about it.
Why everyone hates Sabrina.
We're never gonna know.
We're never gonna know.
Actually, we probably will. Someone's gonna just like say it like in a year.
And it'll be nothing.
I'll ask on Wednesday.
Or everyone will be friends
Oh,
with
yeah.
Sabrina again. Possibly. Anyways, so Dick Donato also wrote this
Probably.
big long thing about Andy on his website, basically saying how much he hates Andy and like nobody loves him, and then there's like a picture of him holding Andy's severed head.
Who was it who compared Willow's game to Andy?
Neha.
God.
That was good. And then Sarah nominated him for All Stars in their stupid podcast.
I don't
It's like, why?
even know why anybody would like put that much effort into hating Andy.
I know. He's so irrelevant. Well, it's Dick also. He does anything for attention.
It's too much. Like, why do you need to write this big long letter that you hate Andy?
He likes to write letters.
It's too, like, come on.
Because he
It's
already
like how he
wrote
got his
one.
fans. He got his fans to write the letter for the cease and desist.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was so gross. Oh, if you want to have your words with her, here's her address or email address and phone number. And it's like, we know what you're doing, Dick. You want them to harass this poor woman who's doing her job.
Yeah, it's not like she personally decided to send this letter. Like, someone obviously told her, like, okay, well, you know, she has to do it as part of her job. It's not because she wants to screw with you or anything like that.
And then he's like, you guys see the American version of Big Brother, but we don't get to see the Canadian one. And I'm like, it's because they pay for the rights to air it. Like, if you want to watch it, talk to some TV channels in the States and be like, you should air this show.
Yeah.
And he's talking about rights when all of his interviews cost like $20 for the entire season to watch. So what is he? Literally, you want to start bringing out freaking this and that politics?
Someone should, stream his Dick at Night videos. And then see how he reacts.
Exactly.
I can't wait for him to get sued by Global.
Oh, God.
We'll never have to hear from him again.
I don't think they're gonna sue him, though.
They should.
They won't.
That'd be great.
Well, if he keeps putting up streams, they might.
I don't know. I just hate him because he's making me want to defend Andy, and I don't want to do that. Because I don't even want to think about Andy, but I don't think he deserves this. You know, no matter what people think about him, I don't think he deserves to have all this hate towards him, because I don't think ever since getting out of the house, he's been annoying on Twitter, but he hasn't really done anything. Mm-hmm. That's too bad. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but...
He just thinks he's better than he was.
Basically.
He's really easy to ignore.
Yeah, just ignore him. I don't get it. Okay, and then Derek is watching BBCAN3, and he was on John and Netta's show. So, did you guys watch him on there? Plugged in?
Nope.
I did.
I didn't.
That's not really gossip. I just wrote it down. It's just something that happened. Yeah, and then people have just been slut-shaming Cindy. Like, Emmett wrote a tweet that he deleted about how Cindy should work some street. I don't know.
Oh, Young Street? And
See,
he spelled it wrong? He spelled Young Street wrong.
He didn't delete it. He didn't delete it because he felt bad. He deleted it because he spelled Young Street wrong. Let's be real.
Or Jillian hopefully
disgusting.
told him to delete it.
I can see Jillian doing that.
Young Street wrong.
That and Dick said, oh, it's slut with an S.
Ugh.
And I'm just like, really?
Why aren't the guys getting this treatment? I don't
That's
think
very
anyone should be
predictable from
shamed for what they do, but the guys aren't getting this treatment, and then Jordan and Zach and Kevin are probably, they're doing the same stuff.
That's what Netta actually brought up. Yeah. Netta brought that up, and he's just like, I'll say whatever I want. I don't hear you complaining when I call Alec a man whore. And it's like, okay, man whore and slut are two different things. And he knows fully the social implications that he's putting on those.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, don't try to act like an idiot when you know exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Man whores, men who do this stuff, they get praise. And,
exactly.
People give them high fives. So, people don't even take the word man whore that seriously. No one has ever used that word to seriously degrade a person.
The fact that they have to put man in front of the whore says a lot
yes,
about it.
That is the good...
Exactly.
That's that right there. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Or discuss, or...
I don't know. I'm just, having low hopes right now. So I won't be disappointed if on Sunday things don't happen how I want them to. Yes, exactly.
Thanks for listening, and please leave a comment. You can follow us at Good Effin Pod. That's Good EFFINPOD. Bye.
Bye.